She disrespected Dakota Ditcheva like no one ever had before.
And I'll knock her mother out too after I'm done with her.
Big words, and one she'd regret almost instantly, because Dakota Ditcheva isn't just another fighter with a fancy backstory.
And a right hand. Oh,
She's a woman who has made her name in combat sports history with sheer dominance.
she's in big trouble.
She is a fighter known for her cold precision, brutal elbows, and devastating knees. From her early days in Muay Thai, Dakota built a reputation as a specialist who could end a fight in seconds. Every time she stepped inside the cage, fans knew they were about to see violence served with elegance.
Still coming forward a little bit wearily now, though.
But the thing about greatness is, it always has to be proven, over and over again. For Dakota, that test came early in her pro career, in the form of a loud, confident challenger named Hannah Brady.
I will knock this dumb bitch out, and I'll knock her mother out too after I'm done with her. Dakota, I'm coming for you. Be ready, you dyke.
Brady wanted to make a name for herself, and what better way than to take down the sport's rising star? She came into the build-up running her mouth with every camera pointed at her. Her words weren't just confidence. They were disrespect. Maybe she thought Dakota was all talk. Maybe she thought her Muay Thai wasn't up to the mark. Either way, Brady's plan was simple. She wanted to steal the spotlight by taking Dakota's head off, but when the cage door closed, all that confidence quickly started to fade, because across from her stood a fighter who wasn't just ready. She was locked in, focused, and ready to humble this cocky rat. Dakota Ditcheva versus Hannah Brady. The girls touch gloves, and Ditcheva starts treating Brady's ribs like a drum solo, firing off hard body kicks. Brady pressed forward with jabs, but Dakota countered like a pro. Within seconds, Dakota's kick-heavy game was already driving Brady crazy as she charged in like a bull seeing red.
Tall and rangy. Dakota Ditcheva. Hannah Brady will come forward.
Though Brady kept pressing forward, hoping to slow Dakota down, the Brit only got sharper and started throwing in bunches.
Crisp boxing as she comes in. She's really good in the clinch as well. She's going to close that distance. Looks a bit cold.
Soon, Dakota let the hands fly, and Brady was definitely starting to feel the sting. 1 minute into the fight, Brady looked lost like a tourist with messed up navigation.
She hasn't stopped going forward, but she's getting caught.
But Dakota knew exactly where to land as she was locked, loaded, and firing with sniper precision. Even in the clinch, Dakota was ripping knees that looked like they could rearrange Brady's organs.
Locking her head down, Brady.
Ditcheva's stick and move masterclass rolled on, while Brady swung at air, desperate to land anything that might bother the young Brit.
Worry about deceiving.
Brady seemed more into hugging than fighting, not that she had a choice, because Dakota was downright lethal.
Expending energy here, Gav.
Yeah, it's a real fast pace.
You know what I mean? Physically strong, Brady. You can see this, Gavin.
Brady's strategy wasn't entirely wrong. The clinch was her only safe zone, because out in the open, Dakota was picking her apart with pure style.
Fight well on the back foot, Gavin, just all the time, just pushing.
All Brady could really do was press Dakota against the ropes and try to hug the fire out of her.
Pushing forward here, Brady. The more eye-pleasing technique, though, is going on. Bell's gone.
If round one was a desperate attempt to contain a storm, round two was Dakota turning into a full-blown wildfire, and Brady was about to learn the hard way Why talking trash to a violent beast is never a good idea. Round 2 began with Dakota coming out blazing, throwing kicks so nasty they made Brady rethink all her life choices.
Messes you up, doesn't she, Hannah?
Brady went back to her boring clinch game, hoping to steal some points, but Dakota shut that down too, refusing to give her even an inch.
Good knee from Brady, some nice leg kicks before that from Ditcheva.
After getting nowhere with her wild rushes, Brady switched it up, taking a more patient approach and waiting for that perfect moment to strike.
Sort of style.
Nice body kick. Negated by the just walking in, just...
But Dakota's length, reach, timing, and counters were just too much for Brady to handle, no matter what she tried.
No, I don't.
At all, you know. But at the same time, good knees.
Looks tired, Ditcheva though, Gavin Ramalto.
Credit where it's due. Brady did everything she could to smother Dakota, because giving her space would have meant getting knocked out cold.
Still quite a way to go in this round as well.
But that strategy backfired fast, turning round 2 into yet another dull clinch fest, which was definitely getting Brady points on the scorecards.
Scoring all the time. Good scores back from Ditcheva.
Every time Dakota found a bit of space, she'd unleash kicks that stung like getting hit with a steel bat wrapped in fire.
You want to be in that clinch, but it's the kind of fight Brady wants. She seems quite happy.
Loving it, Brady, isn't she? Smile across her face, straight in.
Brady would quickly return to what she thought was her best bet, clinching up and throwing a few knees, hoping to at least win some love from the judges. Though Brady had been the one pressing forward through most of the first 2 rounds, it was Dakota who did the real damage, both in the open and even inside the clinch with those crushing knees. It was becoming painfully clear that Brady's hug and pray strategy was working, but it wasn't the most eye-catching. Still, she had no idea if she was actually doing decisive damage to win the fight. She knew if she didn't make a major adjustment soon, a third lost round would bury her chances of backing up all that pre-fight trash talk. But could she actually turn it around? In round 3, Dakota came out even more aggressive than before. Her kicks were sharper and carried the kind of venom that made it clear she was done playing around. Brady was clearly slowing down, and Dakota wasted no time taking advantage, whipping 2 brutal head kicks that crashed in like thunder.
She was technically very, very good, very nice to watch.
Brady clearly didn't appreciate that shot, so she did what she does best, grabbed onto Dakota in another desperate clinch, and refused to let go until her brain cells stopped rattling.
Don't think there's much power there. She's moving a lot all the time, so she's sort of hitting and moving.
Once they broke apart, Dakota went right back on the attack, firing off more kicks and making Brady feel every ounce of that British-Bulgarian power.
Nice left switch kick.
The fight finally opened up midway through the 3rd round, as Brady mustered some courage and started attacking Dakota with a bit more fire in her strikes. But soon enough, they were back in the clinch, trading knees like they were handing out the hottest Christmas gift of the year.
If you want to
sit in them shots, doesn't throw that jab. She's not going to dissuade Brady from coming in at all.
Brady's scoring here, mate. You know, she needs to sit on her shots. Ditcheva, squeeze her fist, let her hands go heavy.
In fact, this time they stayed locked in for a full minute, just stuffing each other's breadbasket with some good old-fashioned bone-on-bone action.
You see, there's not a lot in it, is there?
No, it's really close in these clinches.
The referee finally had enough and stepped in to break them apart. And the moment he did, Dakota wasted no time dishing out more punishment in the open.
Just when there's any sort of distance between the two, Ditcheva's got this sort of bouncing style. I really think she's got a little bit more flat-footed.
Even after 3 grueling clinch-heavy rounds, Dakota was still bouncing on her feet like a true champ, tagging Brady every chance she got.
Because it doesn't look on the judge. I mean, that's beautiful balance. You know,
she's not waiting. She's not taken a step backwards once during this entire fight.
It was another close round with Dakota showcasing her technical brilliance right up until the final bell.
She's showing physical signs of fatigue there.
With the fight as close as it was because of Brady's clinch-heavy plan, no one knew who was winning. But since Dakota was landing the better shots, Brady knew she now needed a finish to turn things around. And the tension was rising fast. But realistically, could she really do any damage relying on nothing but clinch work? Brady came out guns blazing in the 4th round. She charged forward with everything she had left, throwing wild combinations and looking to land that one perfect shot. But Dakota was just as ready, standing her ground and firing back with sharp, vicious kicks that echoed through the arena.
Balance there, she's going for it now.
Both women began trading strikes with real venom now, with every punch and kick packed with bad intentions.
There's no question of the heart, neither girl.
No, it's not. It's just, you know.
It was the kind of chaos that makes fans sit up straight.
It's not, it's just even neat.
But as the exchanges heated up, Brady did what she'd been doing all night, clinching up to cool things down.
Trying to get sneak elbows over Hannah Brady.
She pressed Dakota against the ropes, trying to buy time and slow her down again. However, when they broke apart, Dakota immediately took control once more. Brady tried attacking with more urgency, swinging and pressing forward, but Dakota's composure was unshakable. She stayed patient, slipped punches beautifully, and fired off clean counters that kept snapping Brady's head back.
Scoring barrier though, Dakota.
Yeah, she started this round very well.
Even when moving backward, Dakota looked like the one in charge.
Good score.
Very good.
Better.
Round 4 was finally delivering the kind of action the crowd had been waiting for.
The persistence is with Brady.
There was less clinching, more striking, and a real sense that both fighters were ready to empty their gas tanks.
Behind her. She needs some space behind her, that's what she needs.
Brady was chasing Dakota across the cage, throwing everything she had. But Dakota was making her miss and pay, working her timing, angles, and distance like a master.
Sit here and teep. You know, she could sit here, you know, and teep. Instead of moving back, she could stand, couldn't she?
Every time Brady rushed in, she'd walk into a counter or eat another brutal body kick.
Around the ring.
Brady was now chasing shadows, hoping that one big shot would somehow connect and save her night.
Score better though here.
But this wasn't just any opponent standing across from her. This was a once-in-a-generation talent who knew exactly how to tame a charging beast.
Ditcheva though, with body kicks.
Yeah, around this.
Dakota kept picking her apart, controlling the rhythm of the fight with poise and precision.
Anyway, because to come through this, because she looked spent after the second round.
As the round went on, the exchanges got wilder, and the crowd came alive. You could hear the cheers rising with every clean strike, every furious back and forth.
Question.
This was the kind of calculated violence fans paid to see, a showcase of skill, grit, and heart from both women.
She carries a lot of pressure with her as well.
Indeed,
so,
yeah, you're right, you're right.
By the end of the round, both fighters were marked up and breathing hard, but the difference was clear. Dakota had landed the sharper, cleaner, and heavier shots. Brady's effort was undeniable, but she simply couldn't match Dakota's skill or composure. It was an extremely close and entertaining round, but once again, Dakota's precision and control seemed to edge it out. With 4 rounds done, Ditcheva could afford to coast, but Hannah Brady couldn't. She needed a finish, plain and simple. A clinch battle wouldn't help her, only a knockout would. And that desperation is what made round 5 so thrilling. It was beautiful violence. The 2 fighters touched gloves to officially begin their final battle. There was a mutual nod of respect. 5 rounds of grit and grind behind them, and 5 minutes left to prove a point. They then exchanged kicks like it was a welcome song to the war's final chapter.
This is better, kick for kick.
If Dakota Ditcheva was fired, then Hannah Brady was ice, burning with emotion, but trying to stay cold and focused.
Ditcheva's got more fatigue, Gavin. She's scored better.
Yes, yeah.
You know, because she
For the first time in the fight, Brady didn't want to clinch at all.
It's a throw technique.
I think she's kind of just got a remote control a little bit the last couple of rounds.
Yeah.
She wanted to stand and trade, to separate and fight at distance, because that was her only chance of landing a crushing knockout.
Yeah, Brady, my first time on watching Brady, but I have heard about her that she's a clinch monster. A bit like Latin Swan.
That was easier said than done. Dakota's reach and length were still a nightmare to neutralize, and her timing was sharp as ever, and made Brady's job nearly impossible.
It's good, like that. See?
Brady began circling, flicking her jab, throwing a few low kicks to keep Dakota guessing.
She has the technique if she stayed still, and she could still score, Gav, you know?
Definitely.
But Brady just
There was urgency in her movements, but Dakota could read her like an open book.
makes you move, doesn't she? She pushes you out of your comfort zone. She pushes.
Every time Brady tried to set up something big, Dakota punished her with a snapping kick or a slick counter.
Yeah.
Right there now would be the time to throw. There you
Exactly.
go. Good.
Yeah.
And then
The British striker was calm under pressure, fighting like a woman who had already seen the storm and now knew exactly how to dance in it.
and then go again, you know? And it's not as energy expending doing that way, because you're not getting...
Brady tried her best to land that kill shot, but Dakota, even under fire, managed to stay composed.
Respect for these two, Gavin.
Oh,
Hats tipped.
Yeah, definitely.
Dakota continued to use her footwork to escape the danger zone and fired back a vicious body kick that echoed through the arena.
And thumbs raised for this, definitely.
The intensity kept building. Even in the dying moments of the fight, Dakota was landing the cleaner punches and kicks. Each strike seemed to drain a bit more out of Brady, whose face now showed the wear of the battle. Red marks, sweat, and sheer exhaustion.
Animated corners, both sides. Jump up, cat front tip.
Dakota was surely the more dominant force in the final round, and it showed as the cocky Brady couldn't even stay on her feet.
Praise to the judges. Could have lost to the fight, that Gav. You know?
When the final horn sounded, both fighters raised their hands, drenched in sweat and glory. It had been a war, one that tested every ounce of their will. For many fans, it was clear that Dakota had done more than enough to win. She had dictated the pace, landed the cleaner and heavier shots, and finished the fight looking like the fresher, more dominant athlete. She wasn't clinging on for survival or relying on clinches. She was fighting to win, and everyone watching could feel it. So when the scorecards were announced as a split draw, the entire arena erupted in disbelief. Nobody could quite process how that fight wasn't a clear victory for Dakota Ditcheva. Nevertheless, the result didn't change what had actually happened inside that cage. Brady knew deep down that she had been outclassed, outgunned, and outmaneuvered in every department. Her game plan of clinching and stalling had fallen flat, and her attempts at striking exchanges were picked apart by Dakota's timing and technique. While the judges gave her a draw, many fans saw it as an undeserved consolation prize, a gift she hadn't truly earned. The consensus was clear. Dakota had proven herself the superior fighter that night, regardless of what the scorecards said. Many called for an immediate rematch, demanding a chance for Ditcheva to set the record straight and get the official win she deserved. But that rematch never came. Brady quietly moved on, perhaps realizing that a second meeting would only expose her further. Deep down, Brady knew that if she stepped into the cage with Dakota again, she wouldn't just lose, she'd be finished. So this is how Dakota Ditcheva humbled a cocky fighter who disrespected her mother. To watch more such videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. See you guys in the next one.